Hello there everyone, this is iMark3 and welcome back to a little bit of screwdrivers. This one's been sleeping for a little bit, but well, the goal was always a bit nebulous with this one. It's like, I was considering like do all the gold, but I honestly haven't felt like doing all the gold, so I've not done all the gold, and so this one has been sleeping a little bit. But, well, here we are back again, screwdrivers. There has been an update or so since last time I did a video. And there's a few more races, a few things have been swapped around. My career progression ranking has dropped because, well, more stuff has been added, so there's more stuff to do. I don't think there's more parts, there are more paints, but there's also a new island as well, so, you know, there are some interesting things here to go about. First off, ranking leaderboards. Vehicle classes are now a thing. They weren't there previously. But it's not just D class, E class, F class through to A tier, S, SS, triple S, S power of 500 million. No. This is honestly one of the more unique car class systems I've seen around. I kind of like it, really. It's wasted in a couple of different ways. But also you can check leaderboards like to your vehicle class and to your car classes. Like the vehicle I currently have is a plank class. So I'm in the top 3% apparently for plank classes on this particular race. But I can also tell it to go to all classes where I'm in the top 46%. So yes, things like that. But because of this, well, I've seen some interesting things. I find this thing quite descriptive. Let's go back to the thing. So, remember the Mark 9.1s, which I had trouble with? And the 9.4 I didn't get along with too well either. Well, the 9.1s, according to this game, are classed as Barracudas. So, this is the class tree. I know it's a bit small, they can't really get that good of a look at it, but it does give you access to things like acceleration and overall performance. Barracudas in particular, acceleration around 60 meters per second, low downforce, but not non-existent downforce, and tip over and weight combined is the third overall metric in general. Though there is also a specific class down here just for propeller-driven vehicles, like planes, helicopters, that kind of thing. So that is a thing. I really suck at doing that, so you know, I've not managed to do that yet. I tried to build a helicopter. I failed. First off, it didn't launch. Second off, it drove into the sea. Third off, it fell over. So, no. But this is a Barracuda, 9.1s, though the wheel layout is still the massive problem in that one. The 9.5, which is the stripped down version of 9.4, is a gooseberry, of all things. So, no downforce, somewhat stable, really good acceleration. While the 9.4 fully armoured is a guppy, which is all the way back here because of the high weight, low acceleration, and modest downforce. So odd little things like that. But we also see some patterns, like the first one was a cloud, second one was Mark 2 was a strawberry, and then the strawberries continued until Mark 5, which transitioned into a cherry. Can you tell I'm enjoying this? I am. Then Mark 7 we saw our first Hornet appearing. 7.1 also counts as a... what does that count as? That counts as, that's back to a gooseberry. While the 7.2, which was not too bad, was a fly. So yeah. Good acceleration, but fairly stable. And then we continue on there. So anyway, moving onwards. The Mark 8. I liked the Mark 8. The Mark 8 was really good. The Mark 8 is a wasp. Middle line in terms of weight, but it had good acceleration and good handling. I really like that. I try to emulate that because I've got some more vehicles to show today, so I do not come empty-handed. No. 9.2s, we are going back towards gooseberries. We have, of course, 9.4, the guppy. The 9.1s, the barracudas. The Mark 10 last time was actually a barracuda as well, though this one was actually better built than the 9.1's series, very much so. That was one we took out last time. Pretty good, pretty good. I liked it. Bit heavy, though I felt in the end. So, unnamed. This should probably belong in category 2, but I did try to revisit the 6-wheel thing, like just having the training wheels be motorcycle suspensions. But then I decided it didn't seem to be working out quite well, so I went ahead and didn't do a thing to that. Oh, they've also changed how they program things as well. There's more weighting towards lower end acceleration versus super high speed to try and get things working a bit better. Can we actually measure the crazy ones now? No, the game still has a bit of a fit about that one. Leave it be, leave it be, leave it be. Okay, so Mark 10, last one we saw. Mark 11, a plank. Middle of the road, but it's got really good downforce, average acceleration, average weight. This is a little high grippy one, built using the new gearing systems that we unlocked last time, but I didn't really show off in the videos. So it's got a slightly larger drivetrain into the back wheel in the form of that new three space cog thing, and then a pretty basic 2-speed shifter. I think this one had in the middle. Let's check this one. Yep, that is indeed a 2-set gearbox, I think. No. Actually, it's a 3-set. Yeah, it has a worm gear built into there as an extra go gear for its top speed. So this one's pretty decent in terms of low acceleration, but this is like the lippy little car. Okay. Then I did something unexpected. I built something that I classed as a separate class just because it's a big departure from this one. So I built this one, then I went and paused, then I came back in the Mark 12, which is actually a Barracuda again. But this is actually a pretty decent Barracuda. Kind of like the Mark 10 in some respects. It's got a few departures from normal. I'm actually going to build so you can see this one a bit better. So this one's got, as you can see, it's got more aerodynamic, it's more finished body, so of course it's got more weight. It's also a 6-wheeler, rear-wheel drive. It's got what is my standard 3-speed transmission in the middle there. Let's hide that. So 3 ways to pull power off, 3 ways to put it on. Then in the back it has an extra gear which allows it to switch between a direct 1-to-1 transmission and into a worm gear. Okay, so that's another thing there. So something else this vehicle has done is the drive wheels are actually the large wheels, and then it's got 4 medium wheels for steering. So lots of suspension, decent width, lowish profile for the overall performance. And yes, those are racing suspension in the front, but it's also got dirt suspension in its bigger area because it has a massive engine block. And this is largely the reason why this thing is classed as a Barracuda. 1 big electric, 4 big combustion, and then a couple of medium electrics to add a little bit of extra electric kick in the low end. This thing has a monstrous amount of power. And then the big wheel actually acts as a speed multiplier, as well as the worm gear. So I combined 2 different speed multipliers in this one. It's a bit much. Top speed 1,749. But while testing, I was maybe hitting 100 to 150 in general use. Maybe 200 on a straight. I did not need all that extra speed. And that was just X complexity, X to weight. So I built a stripped down version of this one, which I will be presenting today rather than the Mark 12. The Mark 12.1. So this is, I took the Mark 12, put it on a diet. 2 engines are gone. The medium electrics are replaced by a single mid-level large one. So the first of the larger electrics, rather. So that's about the same electric power, but it's reduced combustion power, so reduced weight. I've stripped out extra parts. I've stripped out the additional extra gear. So I've replaced that with what was on the Mark 11, which is this 3-wide cog into a transmission train just to get it onto the back wheels. And then that combined with the big wheels actually gives this one a decent speed. This one tops out at 540, though its most reasonable accelerations are about 175 or so. Yeah, it's lost about a fifth of the acceleration. It's lost some of its grip because it's lighter, but I don't think those are massive things, but I've not really tested this one too much. Maintains the same, well, actually, aerodynamics are improved. There's more downforce on it. Mass is reduced a bit as well by the engines I tore out. What does it say? Mass is 860, while this one is 1,000. So about 150 kilograms weight shed. 1,700 top speed. I don't need that though in a race. 546, more reasonable in general. But I didn't want to get rid of the Mark 12. Anyway, Mark 12.1. This is the one for general racing. 4 wheels steering is actually giving me some good grip, but I was finding the weight was a detriment. That's why I wanted to do a weight loss program. This one is also, oddly enough, multiplayer specific. This one can go into multiplayer, while the 12 can't. 12 is too complex. But I did find something interesting in this one. This one, it's about 192 to 93 parts. And then this one was saying can't spawn in multiplayer once I hit about that level, which is an odd number. And I've worked out that the multiplayer limit is not just about the overall size or complexity of the vehicle, it's also about the functions of the blocks involved as well, because the actual part limit dropped slightly by a couple of pieces when I added a second spoiler on the top of the back, so it's like overall performance as well as complexity of design. So I found that interesting, and I just wanted to mention it. Anyway, enough poking around. So we've got a couple of races left on the first island that I have not done. We've got Forest 8 Ghost Race, the Pepper Sprint Ghost Race. We got the Gigantic Bridge, which I think might have been altered, and so that's why it's well, either it's been altered and so it's invalidated previous times. I mean, look, unlocks turbo and PO Blaze, but we got those parts. So yeah, this race has been altered slightly, and as a result, leaderboards aren't gone, but I've still got the parts. But that's all okay. So that's okay. There's also, of course, Supersonic. We never did any of the races out here. I did come out here doing getting parts. You can see there's another box has appeared in here, but there's also a bunch of different things here. And then, most recent update, added this. A whole new island that I have not touched yet. I have deliberately avoided coming onto this place. I have no idea what this place is like. But it's also got its own little mini tree. King K, Princess Tonati, and the Lord Lava Lava. Lord Lava Lava. Okay, interesting. Princess Tortinati is making use of the vertical stabilizers, I can see, by the way. The fins. Also new parts. Ooh, this update also brought new parts? I didn't realise. Also new transport race, I am disappointed to see. Oh. Go-kart wheels. Well, there was a lack of a small high-performance wheel. Wooden wheels just wouldn't got it. So I am actually glad to see the go-kart wheels. Go-kart wheels would actually have fit quite nicely when I was building the Mark 12s. I found myself wishing for a smaller, decent wheel. So it seems like that's a reward. Torn out badge. Is that for the player character or the vehicle? I don't know. And then no new parts here, except we get a massive tractor wheel. What? We have a goal, apparently, to make a tractor. Right, sure. Okay, let's get some stuff out of the way. Oh, also the last update, for some reason, now, every time I close this game, it crashes. Not a positive change, but it's still something that happened in the most recent update. It's weird. But yeah, literally the game crashes and it goes into bug reporting mode every time I close it. So hopefully they fix that. Anyway, Mark 1. Let's see. We have got Gigantic Bridge to get back into the swing of things a little bit. Sure. Shall we take the Mark 12 out or the Mark 11? Thing is, the Giant Bridge has a longest straight section and then a lot of on-road, off-road corners. This thing's actually fairly good in corners. I'll take the 12 because I've not actually raced the 11, 12, or 12.1. I've only driven around a bit in free drive just to test them out a little bit. Let's race the 12, then transition to the 12.1, which has worse acceleration and worse grip, but is also a sizable chunk lighter. Let's see how we do. I wonder if it still has the loading lag when I go into a race. It might. It might. Anyway, we must validate our claim to have the turbo and blaze unlocked. Okay. That's new. Sadly, there is a bit of loading lag still, but 70% road, 30% dirt road. It didn't tell me this stuff before. Personal best is on, class best is on, bronze, silver, and gold opposing races are on. Okay. Let us begin. And yes, I did make fake exhaust on this guy. I told you I'm happy with this one. But yeah, see what I mean about the weight though? That's why I put it on a diet as well. But now it's like, drop the hammer. Hello Gold, how are you doing? Bye. Too much though. Quickly repair. Also worth noting, down the bottom right, there have been some... this is part of why it's altered. There's some more stuff here. So, it actually shows you things like wheel calculation for loss of performance, loss of top speed due to engine damage, all that kind of stuff. It's it does show you some interesting stuff. Oops, turn. Come on. Yeah, the weight of this guy is the problem. It's a Barracuda for a reason. And I did. Sadly, that was a case of too much suspension. I bounced when I didn't want to, so I'm repairing, getting that wheel back. But this is not going as well as I would have hoped. This vehicle is proving a bit unwieldy in general. Yeah, I think it's just a bit too heavy, a bit too powerful for its own good. No, it's got some grip. It's just when it loses that grip. Actually, that's a common complaint about most of my vehicles. Ignore that. Ignore that. I'm good. So up here, though, this vehicle, because it's power, doesn't really care about this slope. It just goes. Though I need to ease off or risk massively jumping up the top of it. That's a slight problem. But yeah, I'm struggling to really deploy the power I've got. I don't need this much power. Anyway, that's the first lap. You can see how it's going. I do need to ease off a bit sooner. Let's start easing off now. But yeah, speed's like past a couple of hundred, gets a bit squibbly. I'll see you after the race, unless something interesting happens. I'm kind of regretting that I left that wheel off at this point. Slightly squirrely. Also, I do kind of wonder, maybe I should have put some racing tyres on the front of this guy. Bit of extra grip on the turns would be nice. Though, got to remember, that's better grip on road. On dirt, this thing still has the massive weight and inertia issue. Though that said, running around without my front right wheel hasn't impacted me all that much. I'm comfortably ahead of bronze. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Did feel slightly out of control, and that massive top speed that this vehicle has wasn't a factor. Top 63%, that's okay for Barracuda. So yeah, my vehicles are overcomplicated, overmass. I feel like having that flexible gear train I also love. Yes, it gives me lots of gearing I like in a compact package, but it's also a big source of weight and complexity as well. It's just like, it's probably masses more than it has to do that. I don't know. Anyway, back to the garage. Right. Okay. Now, that was a 12. Let's take the new version, the 12.1, the one that's been on a diet. Sure. Not as much raw acceleration or raw power, but it's also got less weight. So less inertia for the identical wheel layout to sort out. Forest States, I feel that's one I've already... Well, there's no parts unlocked, but I feel like it's one I've already done, Forest State. Let's try that one. You know, I think I might have found a slight flaw in my design here. It seems to... the front end seems to want to wander off and do its own thing. Wow. Since I kind of want to be using that front end, I'll go and fix that. Yeah, I gutted a few bits and pieces out of this vehicle. Apparently, I gutted out some vital connecting pieces. Okay, there's the pegs that need to be in place, right. When I was taking out this engine block, I basically took out everything that needed and then rearranged things a little bit. Apparently, I forgot to put back in basic connection pieces. There we go. Oh, dear. Oddly enough, I didn't actually pick this up during my vehicle testing either. It's just like, when I started to put it into a race and there's like, hang on, the front end's meant to stay attached, not go flying off. It's not a detachable single-use missile like on the Defiant class from Star Trek. It's not. That's not the purpose. Admittedly, there was a game called Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts where one of the things was like a one-on-one race against a higher level opponent. One of my tactics was I'd build a vehicle that would get a heavy section behind the opposing driver, and then I'd add a sticky ball to it. I'd fire it at the opposing drivers so it stuck to it, and then I'd disconnect the... What? Why is that? I'm missing some more pieces. Hang on. I'd disconnect that, and then the other driver would have this sticky ball attached to them with a massive dead weight with deliberately no wheels. So I basically stuck an anvil to the back of their car, and then I just wander off and win the race. It worked. Though I will point out, I never use this in multiplayer. Never use this in multiplayer. This was a single player only thing. Okay, so the piece I'm missing is from here, but the connection point is this, which is actually the wheel. Ooh. That is a problem. That's a problem. Huh. I might have to lose it. Yeah, see, it connects there, which then goes into that. I might have to install a 4-piece in the front here, actually. Yeah, 2x2 beam. Except I can't. I need a triangle beam, which I don't have access to. And I don't have access to something like that. Huh. It's a shame because it means that entire section is going to fall out and I can't attach it anywhere. That's a conundrum. I'm actually somewhat gutted about that. Oh wait, no, I had a brainwave. Hang on. There we go, that should do it. Copy you down onto there. We've got that at the front now. That is affecting its wind resistance a little bit, but not massively so. There's no serious wind resistance. Those would flash red if there were, but no, it's all white, so it's all not too bad, wind resistance wise. Question is, what's this done to its overall performance? Weight is slightly increased, complexity slightly increased. 193, still multiplayer viable. Okay. The only thing is this block has actually been moved forward by 1, and there's a little bit of extra structure in the nose, just like a couple of extra basic pieces. But that should be working now. Of all the problems, the fact that my vehicle's nose was falling off, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, full confession, I did actually have another slight problem. You see the gearing at the back of this guy, which is the replacement parts to transmit down to the actual... Ooh, come on, turn. Thank you. Transmit down to the actual shaft on the wheels. Apparently that wasn't actually anchored and it was flopping around as well, so I went to do a quick edit and fix that. That said though, this does feel more responsive than the previous one. Is there a jump? There is a jump! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoops, why is there a jump there? Of all the mean things to do. I can also tell you definitely I've not done this race before. Because I would remember if there was a ride around on stone piers with jumps over the water. I kind of regret this is a 100% road map and I'm off-road wheels at this point. Problem is there's no replacement for the big rear wheels I've got in the actual road wheel category, which is actually an omission, I think. There should be. There really should be. Feels good to be playing this game. I really must try and get some multiplayer going. I think it's the only person I've got that I've played this with. Well, actually, that plays the same game is, I think, Lilkari. 100? 100. Okay, 100's good. Yeah, maybe Lilkari will be down to racing on this a little bit sometime. Whoa, that lag's back there. Oh no, my front wheel. Whatever. I have spares. I'm good. So again, my performance is better as I actually miss a checkpoint. Reverse. Repair. Go. I'm not aiming for gold. I'm okay. But yeah. Tight turning is actually a weakness in the design. It's not really its forte. Yeah. When I can get the hammer down, it's good. When I can't get the hammer down, it's not so good. Oh, that was... overdid it. Crunch. And if you mess that up, there's nothing to stop you from crashing out of the thing, actually. That's a problem. There's no safety net. Okay, I think I'm in for the bronze for this one. It seems like if I start bouncing, that's an issue. So the extra suspension is actually a slight detriment, even though I get more grip from having more turning wheels. It can be a problem coming out of jumps. So that's something I was not really sure about, but it seems to be affecting me a little bit. That said, this vehicle also has stronger suspension than any previous mark as well, because it's got the big suspension in the back and it's got multiple suspension in the front, so that's a thing. Got a silver though. I'm okay with that. As you saw, I got like 21,000 credits anyway, so yeah. Back to the garage. This is going okay so far. Maybe if this was a little bit shorter, I wish you could move entire sections of the vehicle around in this one, but as far as I'm aware, you can't. So, or the only option is to literally tear apart and rebuild the section you want to move piece by piece, which means it's generally better to just build a new vehicle. It's a slight problem. Anyway, career Dunzo. Next up is the Pepper Sprint. I was going to switch down to the Mark 11, but Sprint, fairly straight. Give me one more round with the 12 series ones, and then I'll switch to the lighter vehicle, I guess. We'll see how it goes. 69 to 31. It says Sprint. I'm assuming it's no, it looks like it might be a loop. There's markings behind me there. So what is this race? I do not know. is it a race along the coastline? Trying to be very carefully keep control on the corners, because that seems to be a weakness of the design. Even though this one's a Hornet rather than a Barracuda, it is still kind of... doesn't like cornering too tightly at speed. When it slows down though, it can actually turn fairly hard. It's just turning and speed is a bit of a combination. Yeah, I feel like this vehicle might still be a bit too bulky and heavy for what I want to do. It doesn't feel as good as the light designs. The Mark 8 was great. Though I think the Mark 8 was also a fluke, if I'm going to be entirely honest with you. Do I go this way? I go this way, okay. Yeah, see, I went around that at 60 odd kilometers an hour. Not the best. And I had to brake hard there to avoid going off the track, so... I'm not... My racing line is... This is why I've never really done that much in terms of serious racing games. My racing lines are actually not very professional at all. When to brake, when to not. I'm reminded of when I played Redout, which is a Wipeout-inspired hover vehicle racer. Actually, doesn't look streaming of that on the channel. Back up. My vehicle choice in that one that I was actually getting really good at was actually very high top speed, very powerful booster, very good acceleration, but its handling was actually not that great, so it actually had to slow down a lot more than other vehicles in the corners. And it was the one I wound up favouring in that game. It was kind of weird. Never actually finished Redout. Live streaming was an interesting time. Anyway, I'm looks like I'm aiming for bronze 2 again. I think I said back when I first started this series that I'm not the best at racing games. It's not an individual area of expertise. Oops, slight lag spike there. Turn? Turn. Yes. I feel like high-speed cornering is something I might want to try and focus designs on. I just have to work out what makes a good high-speed cornering vehicle. Downforce isn't exactly the core components. Grip isn't the core component. Weight is a benefit and a detriment. It's a bit of a strange one, honestly. And if you're able to fully build and customize your own vehicles, you need to work out the ground rules a little bit, which I haven't done for that particular section. I can build vehicles with massive acceleration. I can build vehicles that aren't very likely to tip over at all. I can build vehicles that are very tolerant to getting bashed around a bit. But handling, we can see that all of my designs have actually had some limits on handling, which is when they're trying to push past it. It's like not the best choice with them. I radically love, except for when I was doing the tech campaign back when I first got the game. I actually got some decent handling high-speed vehicles there. But then my design approach went to compactness, and then it's just like I got stuck down that way. So, yeah. Just a question of how long is this actual track? Oh, I think this is the finish area? No? Is this a tour of the whole island? It might be. No, is that the finish? Yep. Crunch. I'm sorry I broke the precious monument thing. Oh well. 411. Well, 342 is the gold one. I'm in the top 70%. Oh, go me. Yeah. The vehicle's a bit heavy for that race. It's also, as you can see, somewhat immobilized. Okay. Let's bring the Mark 11 out to play, and we will actually, for the first time, actually not the first time, we went briefly into supersonic previously to get the chests and things out of this, but we never actually did the races in this one. So, races. Wild curves. Oval. The Mark 12's probably good at the oval. Obvious race. Don't know what that one is. Dizzy race. Dizzy drift. I guess this one. Cloud diver. A high jump. I think maybe the Mark 11 base rather than the Mark 11.1. Just because it's got more power and acceleration. But that said, those vehicles also have strong downforce, so it's not the race for... Well, it says high jump, but that one I want power and speed. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Got a vehicle, let's try wild curves. I've never done any of these races at all. I don't know what they're like. But this is the Mark 11. Extra spoilers on the sides, along the wheels, boxy design, kind of like the old British Minis. Got the big gear in the back, and a simple 2 to 3 speed system. So it can do 2 speeds on reduction, and it's got 3 speeds for acceleration. I think. It's been a while since I built this one, okay? Okay, right. What's the thing? I seem to run afoul of the checkpoint system. Though. You saw there, though. You saw there, though. I was able to recover. It's just like narrow checkpoints in racing games. I usually don't get along with too well, actually. I prefer wider checkpoint systems that you struggle to miss. Why did I skid there? Also, I was not expecting to go onto this section. Oops, daisy. This is part of the handling testing section. I've got the acceleration, but I don't seem to have the control. This vehicle is skittish. Also, it's missing pieces. Where's the next thing? No. Oh, it must have wanted me to turn around and go back down. Okay. You'd think this vehicle would do better with the amount of downforce it's got, but nope. Oh, there goes random. I'm sure that's not important. It's only a structural piece that's holding one of my wheels on. Yeah, and sometimes it feels like the control just lets go. It's weird. Yep. Cogs. My top speed at 74% according to this because I've lost missing pieces of the drivetrain. Yeah, that's part of how the damage modeling. It's like to simplify things. Wheels kind of massively effective on like whoops. Well, apparently my control needs work. Crunch. So yeah, wheels massively affect like how the vehicle handles. Downforce changes forces. Top speed, damage to the transmission. Power, loss of engines. That's I think how things are balanced in this a little bit. I do like the new damage system. It's also modified so that it, rather than the impact point, it actually breaks further up in the body rather than at the point of impact more often. So that way, if you like, say you've got a low-hanging piece of drivetrain and it gets clobbered, you might knock some of your overall structure off rather than the piece of your powertrain. I feel like this vehicle, it doesn't have the right suspension for what it's trying to do because it's every time. This vehicle likes to shed parts. Oops, I'm already down to 82% speed, and this was on. This is one of the milder ones. Oh, never mind. There goes some more bits. I'm sure it's nothing important. I'm just enjoying that. Okay, so what this is down? It is. Whee! I was expecting a lot more damage. Okay. Also interesting, there's no ghost races in this one. Yeah, you see, it starts to skid, and then it manages to snap back and get its grip back again. Slightly weird. This car's a little bit weird, honestly. Not sure I like it too much. Then again, it's still off-road wheels on road, so that's probably part of the problem. I'm sure that was nothing important, except for the except for the spoiler wing. I'm probably going to regret losing that one. I wonder if I can get through this race without repairing. Probably not, but we'll see. Oh. There we go. Oh, that landing fluffed it. Also worth noting, by the way, this one actually does draw slightly in terms of its base structure from the Mark 8s. Notice it's got the wishbone style mounting pieces connecting to the wheels. Yeah, once it loses full effect of the downforce, it seems to be when this one has trouble. But yeah, so it's got wishbones on the top, it's got flat on the bottom instead of wishbones underneath as well. So the 8 has kind of inspired the majority of my designs coming since then. And at the very least in trying to design things and reinforce things, though I'm actually looking at it, those top pieces are aesthetic. They are not actually used as part of the structural bracing. Maybe it's why this vehicle kept falling apart so much. It's not actually that sound structurally, it's just got extra parts on it. Interesting to think about. Okay, right. Let's go to the other one, which was, I think, the Dizzy Drift. Let's give this a try. That's promising. 23% on-road, 77% off-road. Also, I hear other vehicles. Yes, there are other vehicles. There's spectators, there's people to crash into. Oh joy. Let's see how we do. Dizzy Drift, though. Oh. Uh-oh. Is this... Oh no, it is. This is a course for very compact, low... Oh, I hate this. I hate this. This is the antithesis of my vehicle build philosophy. There's nowhere for me to actually lay down power advantage or superior acceleration and stuff. It is purely about tapping forward and turning as hard as my vehicle can tolerate. That's all there is to this one. I am not a fan of this race. This vehicle is, yeah, it does say it's about drifting. Fair play. I somehow got... Was that silver or bronze? I think it was bronze. 56 point... somehow I got silver. In a plank class car. Alright, let's break out the Barracudas again. Mark 12, I thought you might do good for the high jump. Let's throw you into the high jump. This is also the first high jump event I've ever done. Yeah, it's involving that big ramp. So a vehicle that stays straight is a good idea. There is some extra room for run up. Okay. This vehicle has an insane top speed. Extra speed space is good. Acceleration will be reduced by the fact I've got off-road tyres in this. But not massively so. Okay, floor it. Already on 7th gear, 8th gear, 10th gear. Easy gold. I told you this thing had the power. And crunch. Apparently I'm only... Well, I'm in the top 29% for Barracuda class vehicles. The landing needed some work. Also, I lost some height because my vehicle actually tipped over and was facing upwards, so that was air resistance slowing me down there. But this thing, well, I think its weight and the fact it had off-road tyres counted against it a little bit. Note to self, I must really start using road wheels. It would be probably a good idea. Anyway, moving on. I don't know what the obvious race is going to be, but the oval race is next, and I will take the 12.1 for its improved general handling. As we know, power and acceleration, the original Mark 12 is... Actually, you know what, I think Mark 12 would actually be a better one to have for this one as well. Yeah, the Mark 12 is probably a better one to have for this one as well. Let's get the original. Oval, yes, but I didn't stop to realise that it would be banked. So, yeah. Let's go do some NASCAR driving. Yeah, NASCAR, off we go. Ironically, I think the first racing game I ever really played was actually an old NASCAR game. It was my first kind of racing game that I tried to get good at, except I really sucked. It was that or Wacky Racers. I really enjoyed Wacky Racers, but I think I got that one after the NASCAR one. The NASCAR one was just like a free game I got as attached to a magazine. Okay, yeah. Yep, this is solid, this is good, this is bad, that's bad, that's bad, get off the wall, come on, there we go, right, we're good, nope, stop, don't, fishtail. Oy. So if I can keep it smooth, we're good. Even so, despite this vehicle having the best grip, best acceleration, and best power in the new generation of vehicles, it is not silver, I would like to note. It is bronze, apparently. Oh no, no, it's actually gold. Why does it only show me bronze sign then? Top 16%. If I go to all classes, top 19%, still in gold tier. Huh. Mark 12, you did good. Okay, so for the last race on Supersonico... No, not Supersonic, Supersonic. Last race is going to be the 12.1 and the one so-called obvious race. Is it that? We did part of that in one of the other races though. Just we're going up on top of the hill, and then like that. So I don't. That's the oval, the most speedway. Yeah. Obvious race, it says. Finding the obvious is something I suck at. So let's go. Is it actually going to be what I guessed? Am I just that good? Who am I kidding? We know I'm not that good. It's just I got lucky. It might be. Tight corner, turn kind of hard. Oops. Yep. Notice how the much lighter first place is going. I mean, that's part of the reason of the weight loss for this 12.1 versus the 12. Because just having raw power is not the end of things. If your vehicle is light and you need to be able to properly use the power. I think that's something I'm not actually that good at in this game. Though that said, I seem to have guessed right about the circuits. Oops, let me turn hard to grab that one. Kind of wish I was on road tyres though. But this vehicle actually can't really swap to road tyres that well. Because there's no equivalent for the rear wheels would actually lose some height. At least I'm not bronze. And my vehicle's good enough to be casually holding silver. But gold might not be a thing for this one for me, sadly. Just come on, turn! Oh, sacrifice the speed to get the turning. Yeah, turning performance is the best in this one. Unless I handbrake, in which case I'm actually giving up a bunch of control to the skid. And skidding, some games I'm okay in it, but most games I don't really skid much. That's it. Some games I'm really good at it. It's like Split Second I could skid. I think Blur I could skid. Burnout I could skid. There are some games where I've learnt how to skid, but this is not one of them. Especially since we can so massively customize and tune the vehicles. The loss of control is something I struggled so much with. Listen to me analysing my overall performance of driving vehicles. You need to give me this. I haven't. I've given up on being able to drive in real life. So racing games are all I've got as far as driving cars is concerned. Yeah. I wouldn't trust myself to keep other road users safe behind the wheels of a real world vehicle. That's simply the basic truth of it. So I'm never going to do it. 244, 303. We are good. We are good. Yeah, we are good. Man, it looks like I loved go-karting when I was a kid as well. Anyway, I loved go-karting when I was a kid. Even though I was kind of too big, I struggled to fit into it. But, yeah. One last thing, I guess, is there was a box over here. Is it on top of that? I don't know. Oh, no. I think it is on top of that. Can this vehicle... I think that's too steep, though. Yeah, that's... Unless I can throw this vehicle in reverse, I guess. Bit steep. This would need a very light vehicle, I think, with a lot of grip. No. No, no. It's another box that needs a helicopter. Or a plane of some kind. A helicopter would do the job. A plane would be able to do it. But I have to just basically make something that can fly. But yeah, one of those back wheel, this thing actually does become fairly unbalanced. It's just like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. So I've done all the Sonico races. I have finished the missing races from over in Pulau Makota. There we go. And we've got the new land of Isola Tonati. Isola Tonati? I think that's how you pronounce it. I've never seen before, never gone on before, anything like that. So, I will, as was my habit of more recent videos in this game, open the floor to anyone who kind of wants to see me try to do something with the vehicles. I'll try and build something functional. The diamond was a case of I just didn't test it enough, and it massively backfired. And there was a lot of regret with the diamond. I find it amusing how much trouble I was having with it, so that's kind of why it showed up as it did. But it's like, I'll try to make something functional, or if I can't, I'll explain why I don't think I've got something functional. But yeah, failing that, I'll build something. I don't know. But yeah. Next time around, King K, Princess Tonati, and the Lord Lava, we will be coming for you to get access to those sweet, sweet tractor wheels. Which seem to be very narrow, very large profile vehicles. What kind of vehicles can we build with that? Can we build a roll cage style vehicle? Well, we can kind of do that already with the current wheels. The current big off-road wheels can do that. A roll cage style vehicle. Roll cage stage 2. That was another old favourite. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, stop. It's my Matthew. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff helps out me, helps the channel, gives me those virtual headpats I oh so crave. And I'll catch you all some other time. Actually, this might be 2 episodes worth here. There's like 15 races in this one. Depends how the races go, I suppose. But yeah, we'll just have to see how that turns out. 1 to 2 episodes, maybe. I don't know. Won't know until I do it. But yeah, I'll see you all later.